Welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Kush,
And I'm Alex.
and today we're reviewing Chris Stapleton from A Room Volume 1. So Chris Stapleton, this is his second album? Yeah,
Yeah.
second album. He got a lot of popularity for his last one. And I guess a more grassroots bluesy country musician, Americana musician. Which is probably my favorite type of country, the Americana, like Otis Gibbs and Willie Nelson sort of guys. This album is actually a really good country album. I was surprised that I'd liked it. I didn't think I was going to, but I actually really did.
Yeah, I actually really wanted to cover this because all of the country we've covered, Bradley Gilbert, Alison Krauss, no, not but did we? Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's all become a haze. We've nearly got 100 videos, guys. Come on. Cut us some slack. But yeah, all of the have either been bad or forgettable. So, but this is the first of one of these acclaimed new country artists that's come out. I've tried his album Traveller, and I think he had one of the best, strongest vocals in the country game. Maybe not even country game, just the whole musical world. He has some of the most raw, emotional. He's a powerhouse. Do you not think? He goes really hard with his vocals.
Yeah, his vocals are actually probably the best part about this album. He just can
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like the guy who can reach those high notes, but he reaches those high notes, he reaches the low notes. He's very diverse to the point where sometimes you think it's like a second vocalist on the track. I was just very impressed with what he can do vocally, at least.
I'm actually glad that yeah.
The instrumentation of some of these songs is also good, but his vocals really take the cake for the most part.
I'm glad that this is only Volume 1, because Volume 2 is coming out later this year, because one of the only flaws I had with Traveller is quite a few, lesser quality songs. Like, the title track in Traveller is the first song, and it completely blows everything else out of the water, I'd say. So, even though I like a lot of the rest of the album, a lot of it is not up to the same quality level. It's not fair, really, because if I listened to it without that song, it'd be more favourable. But I like this, because there isn't really a singular standout song, really, for me. I mean, yeah, there's a few that are a bit better than others, but I don't have a favourite. That's weird. I just think this is such good quality level, and a lot of variety within country Americana, I'd have to say.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple songs that were just really out of the winds. Like Broken Hills is a fantastic song. I think my favorite was I Was Wrong.
Right.
That bass line was so infectious, and his vocals were incredible. Very bluesy inspired.
Yeah.
And you can tell with the reverb heavy electric guitars going on there. That song was just without a doubt one of the best country blues Americana songs I've heard this year, hands down.
Oh, this decade maybe. I don't know. That guitar solo rips as well. He doesn't need to do anything experimental or new to impress me, because he's just got such a great quality level with the way he plays. I was wrong. I was wrong to think country wasn't good. I love country, but man, when it's really good, it's really amazing, like this.
Yeah, so that song was specific, and Either Way was another really good song. It was more somber acoustic song.
I love that song.
But his vocals just give me the goosebump when he hits those high notes. And it is about a failing relationship, and no matter what happens between them, he wants to still love her, but he knows he won't be able to because they'll grow apart and such. But holy crap, those high notes just give me the goosebumps everywhere, every time.
Whenever you listen to a song like this, which is just him and an acoustic guitar, forget overproduction, vocal manipulation, and electric guitars. I know he doesn't really have any of that other than electric guitars someplace. But I can understand, I don't agree with, but I can at least understand why people hate autotune so much when you hear a song like this. Just such a true voice. Just himself. There's something to be said about the strength of a song that's so minimal like this. It's really great to have songs like this now. And second one to know might be my favourite if I had to really pin it down. Whoa, this is a rip-rocking country rock song. It's awesome. It's almost hard rock. This riff was completely unexpected, but it's awesome. I was completely elated the first time I heard this, because he never rocked out quite as heavy as this on the first one, but I'm so glad this is here. This is so awesome. That's the best way to describe it. I just thought that song was awesome when I first heard it.
I thought that was good, but I wasn't as blown away by you. I thought that was kind of more standard country rock song.
Yeah,
His vocals really do take the cake on that song because it shows his diversity. Because the songs before it was such a slow, somber breakup track,
hmm.
and it's really heart wrenching the way he sings and he hits those like notes, and he can express those emotions, which he does. Then you switch to this song, which is an upbeat, fast paced, just angsty song, and he can express those emotions too. He's not stuck in one sort of grouping like most country musicians are.
Yeah, there's one song I've seen online that people don't like, and it's Them Stems, but I quite like it. I mean, it is a sort of very simple joke song about smoking marijuana, and like he gets it from his dealer, and it's a very basic blues thing, but I think it's him having fun. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty decent.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't a highlight either. It was just like
Yeah,
another.
true.
It was the best kind of filler song. Like it wasn't a filler song where I was like, oh, this is annoying filler. It was like it was okay to listen to. I don't think I'm gonna come back to that song specifically, but I wasn't upset that it was on the album.
Yeah, and just talking about Broken Halos, like he opens the album with "Seen My Share of Broken Halos, Winds That Used to Fly." It kind of reminded me of what Willie Nelson was doing, like God's Problem Child. Like people are trying to be God's child, like a good citizen. Halo, like be an angel citizen, and like but it's broken halos. Like people are trying, but to be good in the light of God, which I guess is like a stereotype with country, religion being a main thing. But yeah, that was a really strong song.
I I actually think I read up about this song. I'm pretty sure he's talking about like people passing away. He wrote it specifically for a childhood friend who passed away, and it's a really passionate and honest song to me, at least.
I try and always do my own lyrical analysis, and they're never usually right.
No, I just had to search this one up because like I was kind of confused on what he was trying to say with the broken hills because I initially did think like you it was similar to God's problem child, but I'm like there's a lot of references to like heaven and things like that, so I was assuming
True.
that maybe it even had to do about death too. So like obviously the death one is what at least he said. So, but there's always multiple interpretations to a song.
Yeah, and all of mine are right to me, at least. I mean, we could touch quickly on each song if you want, like Up to No Good
The
Living.
very last song.
Yeah, all right,
Oh,
okay.
sure.
Up to No Good Living is a more of a traditional country song, but by no means bad because of that. Like, there's a lot of country stereotypes. He says, "I used to drink like a fish, and I'd hate to die before I'm up to no good living." Like, in country circles, it must feel really real when people like Hank Williams, Townes Van Zandt, and Keith Whitley have all died of alcoholism. Like, it must seem real, and I do think Chris is a heavy drinker, so songs like this that seem quite simple actually have a lot more punch to them, I'd say.
Yeah, that song it was like a more generic country song.
Yeah, it was.
Again, his vocals take the cake. As
They always
always.
take the cake.
Uh,
But they are the
but
highlight of the whole album, just about.
they really are. It's impressive, and
Death
it's like
Row
he's talking
is.
about like
Oh man.
I think he's talking about more so kind of like the outlaw lifestyle, but like unlike Willie Nelson in his outlaw phase, he didn't. He's not trying to like idealize. He says, "I made a mistake, but I'm gonna try to get better about it. I'm not gonna do this. These are not things that I want to be doing." So instead of like idealizing the fact that he's an outlaw, he's talking about being an outlaw and then trying to get better and becoming a more reformed person because of it.
Yeah. You were talking about Death Row.
Death Row is a gorgeous song, let me tell you. Uh,
Okay.
Subtle bass line, it's just so gripping. And he builds the instrumentals by adding a slow electric guitar eventually, then a percussion, and then they loop it. It just keeps looping and looping and looping. And the song's about a man who's on death row, rethinking his final moments and stuff like that. And it is a more like minimal instrumentation, so his vocals really fill that space and make it sound full and vibrant, even on this minimal instrumentation.
Yeah. That song took a few listens to sink in with me, but it became one of my favorites by the end of my experiences with this album. And that's not actually ended. I will keep returning to this. I think the whole album's great. But But yeah, exactly what you're saying. I thought this had a very slow, brooding type song. Yeah. Also, there's a last thing I needed, first thing this morning. For some reason, during Broken Halos, because it was a bit more of a standard pace for country. I would a lot of country is fast paced, but quite a lot of it is a bit slower than just being fast paced. So I was expecting a harmonica solo, and then we get some great harmonica like atmospherics on Last Thing I Needed, First Thing this morning. And this is a sad sax song, like through and through. It feels like late night ruminations over a love who left him earlier that morning. Like he talks about last things he needed that morning, like the postman delivering out debt, like bills and stuff. So just the way Chris emotes his way through this song with his great voice just makes every song good, though. Yeah, a great song.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with this album.
Yeah, it is amazing. I knew it would probably be quite good because how good Traveller was, but yeah, I think he actually stepped up his game here, especially consistency wise. Maybe it helps that it's quite short, but I quite like that it's a shorter volume thing. I think it makes him focus on the material more instead of having bad filler, which country could
Yeah,
have
for sure.
quite easily.
What would you rate this album, Alex?
It's interesting. I'm gonna give Chris a little treat and give him a 9. There you go, Chris.
Oh, big boy numbers.
A big
Big
boy
boy
number
numbers.
for big boy Chris. Nah, he's done well with this. I mean, best country album of the year so far, I'd say, and I am stoked for Volume 2. I need it immediately. Like, some of the best country songs of the decade are to be found here, like Either Way and Death Row, and the first song. I think a lot of it qualifies as that. There's a lot of variety, a lot of different pacings, um, and his voice, the man, he could be singing any old junk, and his voice would make it shine, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, as I am a country critic more so than most other music, this is a 7 out of 10 for me, which is by no means a bad album. So don't yell at me.
The
Still a very good
that,
album.
that's a really good score from Kush on a country release, I'd say.
uh, I think my biggest problem with this album was there was a couple songs that felt kind of samey, kind of generic to me, like Up to No Good Living and the Them Stems. But even so, those, despite being more generic, they were not bad songs. Like they were still pretty good songs. I just wish that because he has incredible songwriting, so I think he could have maybe put a couple more like incredible songs like those, like I Was Wrong and Without Your Love and stuff like that on here.
Yeah.
But by no means is this a bad album. This is a really good album, very good country album, probably my favorite of this year. Comparable to the Otis Gibbs record that I listened to. I mean, we didn't cover it on this channel, but I really loved that one too. So I am thoroughly impressed with what's going on here, and hopefully the second volume is just as good, if not better.
Yeah, we might be able to cover that. It depends on what's coming out that week, as ever.
For sure. Well, if that's it, then thanks for tuning in to Busted Speakers. We hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think about this album in the comments below, and check us out on social media.